Since you clicked on this video, I assume you're a hardworking player that is constantly searching for ways to grow and develop. And props to you, you should be proud of yourself because you have that secret ingredient called work ethic that not many players who want to succeed in this game have. But let me tell you this, as you will be advancing and making your training more intense and increasing your overall workload, you cannot afford not to be careful with how smart you train, because to be honest, there is a point of diminishing returns that might hold back your career and cause injuries. Unlike other online gurus telling you to just work harder, put the reps in, and do the 10 best gym exercises for footballers, I decided to make this video to equip you with all the tools needed to make your approach smarter and more robust for the needs of the season. So first things first, don't take me wrong, doing extras in season is something foundational if you want to climb up the levels in this game. It is a non-negotiable that most players have to commit to if they don't belong to that 0.1% of players with raw talent. The real issue lies behind how you train, not whether or not you train. There are loads of players worldwide with the same level of work ethic as you. What makes you different though? What sets you apart? What makes your approach more resilient against injuries, for example? What is going to help you perform at your peak and at the same time keep developing? Those are all problems players like you are dealing with in season and are most probably holding them back from doing those extras. Because a sudden spike in your overall training load can drastically increase the risk for injury, and obviously, doing more can negatively impact your game day performance with all that extra fatigue and DOMs. So there's gotta be a way to balance everything out and serve your needs for development, health, and peak performance, and that is what we're going to discover next. The first step when you want to do extras in season is to nail down your needs. In an ideal world, energy and time would be abundant. The higher the level you play though, the more of your time and energy gets eaten up from your team's staff on a daily basis. I have pros with a full team and game schedule on a weekly basis, yet we still manage to slot in the extras that they need, and that needs analysis we mentioned earlier is crucial here. You simply cannot stress all of a player's qualities when they are in season, so the core thing to do is identify the pain points of your game. This can be done in a more objective way using assessments, but that is obviously not an easy solution for everyone, including pros playing at the lower tiers. And for that reason, you can do that needs analysis by asking yourself really straightforward questions. Start off really broad if you're a pro and you're super limited on time and energy, and ask yourself, what area of my performance is the missing link? Is it my physical abilities, my technical skills, or my tactical intelligence? Then get deeper into each. What injuries have I dealt with before? Am I struggling with speed, strength, or power? Is my aerobic or anaerobic capacity tapping out most often in games? What about my technical and tactical skills and intelligence? Once you nail these down, it is time to consider how much time and energy you can invest into your personal development. For some pros with a congested game schedule, earning every game minute and training every day, this might mean focusing just on a couple of areas max, while others that play or train less with their teams might be able to invest more time and energy into their development. It really is a matter of making the most out of the time and energy you have available. Now moving on to probably the most impactful part of the video and the one most players tend to mess up the most: managing the training load. In regards to that, there are two really valuable concepts that we use with our players, especially those that are pros or full-time semi-pros, and those are microdosing and the minimal effective dose. Both of these training concepts share a common similarity, and that is that smart training isn't about endless hours inside the gym or at the pitch. Once you start experimenting with those and seeing the results yourself, you will be amazed by what a 20 to 30 minute gym session can do for your performance. On one hand, we have microdosing, which is all about cutting down on the training load, creating small chunks of work, and distributing that work throughout the whole training week. For example, instead of doing 6 top velocity sprints in one session, you could split that up into 3 mini sessions of 2 top velocity sprints that you can do in the middle of or before a team session. Another way you can go at it is by breaking down a session into smaller pieces, which is an approach that I find myself using all the time with pros when it comes to developing speed, for example. Instead of performing an entire speed session at once, I like to divide that session into 3 pieces and program those within the whole training week in a periodized fashion. Apart from microdosing though, I also like to find and use my players' minimal effective dose for any given exercise or session. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term from our previous videos, this is a term that was initially used by the pharma industry but has become popular among sports scientists and coaches in the recent decade. The reason it became popular is because we finally found a way to cause adaptations, aka results, without having to work that much. In other words, we are using the lowest possible dose of training that still gets our players results. In even simpler terms, perform less reps or sets of a given exercise, work at smaller joint angles, use the lowest possible resistance that still reflects your goals though, and generally do less of what works to preserve your energy and peak performance. These two together, if mastered properly, can be a deadly combination that can deliver you peak performance and development without having to sacrifice your health and risk getting injured. If you need any help applying these two concepts in your training, simply book a call with yours truly using the link below, or drop me a message on our Instagram and I'll be right there to talk with you. Now if you like this video, I am sure you will want to watch this one next.